This is Sky Blues Extra.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this evening's Sky Blues Extra Live after another bitter, disappointing day for the Sky Blues, eventually falling 3-0 to the R's, the QPR at Loftus Road this afternoon. I mean, a clueless performance. Let's be honest. Toothless. Lots of adjectives we could use. I'm going to let you go first, Ross. Just sum up what you thought of today's game and your thoughts overall for us, mate.
To be honest, I just feel like it was just, I'm hurt, man. I'm hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was, people have often, you know, every time we've lost, you know, over the past few years, let's say since Mark Robbins comes back, you have someone ring up, Coventry, Warwickshire, whoever, say it's the worst I've ever seen us play, right? And it's not. People are overreacting.
Yeah, of course.
But that first half today was the most inept I've seen us in terms of our whole game, out from attitude to what we did on the pitch.
I literally just about to say I've got a list of notes on stuff, and it says here that I don't think I've seen a worse 10 minutes from a Coventry side of the opening 10 minutes. Never mind the first 10 minutes. That first half was diabolical.
I thought we were inept in every sense of the word in terms of from our effort. I thought for a team we looked like a team who were on the beach. We looked like a team.
Yeah.
We were in QPR's position. You know, we have nothing to play for. It's nice and sunny. We're in a relegation fight. And I saw no fight from any single player. I thought it was pathetic. I'm really hurt. That's what hurt the most. You can forgive quality.
Yeah. I've said that all year. Yeah.
And look, people, you know, slated Max Biamu against Wickham, right? He missed chances. He lacked a bit of quality. But with him, I saw a fight in him. But he went in the squad today and nobody else. I mean, for all these fans who thought Matty Godden was going to be the saviour, you're having a laugh. He was just the same. He was doing the graveyard shift again. You put anyone in that graveyard shift and they'd do as well as anyone else would, because there was just, from top to bottom, from the goalkeeper to, I mean, what have we been doing over the international break?
Yeah, that's my question. Yeah, you mean
we look tired? We look. I don't know, Matt. I don't know. I'm lost for words. I'm as clueless as they are, I think, in terms of.
You're absolutely right. There's no fight, no passion, no tenacity, no bite. You know, everything you need in a dogfight. It's a dogfight in this division.
We could have lost today. We could have lost today, right? 2-1 or 1-0, and we could have fought. We could have been fighting, and I'd have gone. We'd be sitting there now going, look, it's a disappointing result. But you know what? I saw something in the performance to make me go, come on, Monday, let's go again.
Yeah.
I feel flat as a pancake. And, you know, people can say about the second half, it was irrelevant. The game was done at 2-0.
Yeah, there's no way with that system and setup we had, we were never going to score 2 goals. I mean, we were never going to score 1 goal, to be honest.
Even in the second half, I was laughing because we were having a chance and you're thinking, normally this would be a great chance for any other team. I'm thinking, I should be getting excited.
Yeah.
And we just fluffed it in every way you possibly can imagine. Look, people are going to say we're going to be negative, right? I'm just being realistic what I saw today.
That's the difference, isn't it?
I'm being realistic. And I don't like to go over the top, but I am done. I think we're done. I can't see.
So you think we're League One bound?
Look, the last few performances have been concerning, right? The last few. But I just think we're done. If we stay up, it is only because
other teams fail to do what they need to do. Yeah.
And Rotherham and Birmingham do worse than us, which would have to be horrendously bad.
Yeah. We've talked about this quite a lot. We didn't want to be in a position where, you know, we're relying on other teams to get bad results or to not get a result when they need to. We should be the makers of our own destiny. And all too many times this season, we've failed in that regard.
We had it in our hands, Dino, like you say, and we had it in our hands even going in today. Despite the poor performances, despite the results we've had, it was a case of, if we win today, look at the table. Had we won today, you know, but Derby won today. They took it. They took the initiative. They got the win. They're probably 1 win away from being safe.
Yeah.
The Forest beat Cardiff, 1 win away from being safe, and we didn't even it wasn't even we came close to getting a result today.
I think
We
that's
were
the thing, is it?
miles off it.
When the opportunities have arose, we haven't taken them, and that's happened, at least in double figures amount of games this season, hasn't it? We could be absolutely
what Mark Robin said
and clear right now.
What Mark Robin said about the mid-table thing is that got a lot of attention of people thinking, well, what's he talking about? But I agreed with him in terms of, and I put it on Twitter. There's a fine line, I think, from this where we are to where Luton are, and we've seen how many times we've shot ourselves in the foot. We've not taken our chances and literally gifting goals away. That combined, we could be safe, like you say. We could be home and dry now, but I think we will be lucky. We will win the lottery if we get to go to the last game of the season needing a win. If you say to me, Millwall, we have to win to stay up, I'll take that, because I think we're not going to get anywhere near. I think we'll be done before
you can see confidence is completely shot, and that starts from the top, doesn't it?
My confidence is shot, and that's what they've done. Like I've always been along going, come on, we can still do it. We can still do it. That just sapped I was optimistic in today. I don't know about you. I thought we're going to win today. I had a feeling. I was thinking, come on. And then, you know what? We could talk about the lineup, but I thought, you know what? He's made changes. He's giving Jamie Allen a go. Come on now. Come on. Morosi back in goal. Godden should be fit. And then that 1 minute goal. And I'm thinking,
here we go again.
Here we go again. And suddenly it's Good Friday. And it just turned into terrible Friday.
Yeah, bad Friday. Absolutely.
Bad Friday.
Let's go through a couple of comments. Plenty, obviously, with the reaction to today's game. Connor Nolan, well, lads, it's been fun. I'll see you all in League One next year. Dave says it's embarrassing. Mark Cunningham, I have no words, no fight, no passion, nothing. Harry Freeman King, shocking performance. Kyle Holly, we are not good enough for the Championship, and that's disgraceful, losing 3-0 to a shit mid-table team. Yeah, to be honest with you, Carl, I'm in that same. But a lot of people said, this is a good QPR team. I think we've made them look good today.
We made them look like Real Madrid, and we've done it to all these other teams. The thing that concerned me is we competed. Like, we were competed with Wickham. Last year, we were way better than Wickham.
Yeah.
I feel like we've gone backwards as this season has gone on. We beat QPR earlier in the season.
Yeah. And for me, it all bows down to the system we play. But I want to come into that a little bit later when we look back at today's starting lineup. I mean, you look at times today, Ilya Sher had 15 yards of space to run into because Da Costa was off on an adventure down the other end of the pitch.
I saw your tweet. It made me laugh.
It's just absolute nonsense. The guy's got no positional awareness.
Well, I met a friend of mine today for a coffee, Cardiff fan, and I said, Da Costa's obviously going to be playing because Stabo's injured. I said he'll either be unreal or he's going to be an absolute train wreck. And unfortunately, he was the latter.
Yeah. We'll go through a couple more comments before we get a couple of callers on. Danny, Eccles done more in 20 minutes than Hamer, who was non-existent again. Yeah, I think that was a plus point. I thought Josh Eccles played really well in that 20 minutes. And like you said there about Jamie Allen, Shipley being given a chance in the team. They didn't step up to the plate, didn't take it. You got to look at Josh Eccles, who had 20 minutes at the end of a dead game and did well, got in some really good positions, had a nice striker goal, a few nice touches, a few nice passes. And that's all you needed to do to stand out today, which shows you
that just shows
how bad we were.
We were that bad that someone who literally looked like they were trying stood out by a mile.
Yeah.
That was it. As simple as that, the effort.
Marlon Gayton, League One bound for me. Can't expect to stay in this league with no fight and the same individual mistakes every game. Yeah, it's a broken record, Marley, to be honest. It's the whole way through the season, we've said exactly the same thing every single week. It feels like I feel like I'm a parrot just repeating the same things week in, week out. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Ross, in regards to the quality, you can, give up a little bit of quality if there's fighting, passion and desire there.
Like people often say, right, a team, they're struggling. They're struggling in this league. We're not struggling because we're not even trying. We're literally just drowning. We're just letting ourselves drown. It's not like we're really trying and we're going, you know what, we're just lacking a little bit of quality. Maybe we're not quite good enough. We're not trying, to me. I watched that today and thought we're accepting our fate. The players have accepted it, and I think it's a disgrace. What I watched today, that first half, I wanted to cancel this.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We've got to show a brave face, though. Connor, last comment just before we get into a couple of calls. There's no shame in being relegated, but I don't want us to go down like this. I can't face League One again when we're back at the Rico. Wycombe fans will still love their team. Ours will be livid, and that shows with the amount of ridiculous Twitter comments.
But look at the season tickets. The club, they went on general sale and we sold in 4 hours, 1,500.
There's only 400 left, by the way, now.
400
from what I've been told. Yeah.
So that's over. That's over 7,500. So we've got more than what we had at the Rico last time. And if you were on the fence, if you woke up today and thought, because I haven't got mine yet, but I was, you're thinking, I'm going to get a season ticket back at the Rico, buzzing, all that positivity. Ever since the Rico was announced, all I've seen from this team is abject performances. Maybe because these players know that if we're in the Championship, they won't get to play at the Rico. But if we're in League One, they've got a better chance.
Yeah, definitely. Let's speak to Glenn. Glenn, I know I think I've read that you purchased a season ticket at some point already. Are you looking forward to League One in the Rico next year?
Yeah, I think it's everyone's worst nightmare, isn't it? Unfortunately, but yeah, it was
a bit of an abject performance, wasn't it?
We've gone backwards. I think even against Wycombe, you could say the argument is we had a few chances and we missed them. We didn't even have any real chances today, did we? At all, really, first half.
Other than definitely not first half, other than the Walker chance in the second. That was it, wasn't it?
But I just... 4 years ago today, he started the turnaround at the club, Robbins, and I've got this awful feeling that he's hit the brick wall because I think he's starting to alienate people in the fan base. I'm sick of hearing the excuses. I'm sick of hearing the same old rubbish coming out of him about, oh, well, we've got the lowest budget, we've got injuries, we've got suspensions. Yeah, so every club has at the moment. The fixture schedule. It's time to stand up and be counted. I think he needs to stand up and be counted.
It starts from the top, like you say there. Yeah, definitely.
He's made decisions today. I mean, I put a tweet out and called it Robbins roulette as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek comment, and he's done it before and he's got away with it. We've got results, and I think today he got it wrong. In the same way, Southgate on Wednesday night with England, he was 1-1. He didn't really do anything to try and win the game and got a wonder goal off Harry Maguire. But
we need you back. We need you back in the fold, Glenn. In England setup.
But that's exactly the sort of approach Robbins has. It was the team was set up to basically match up to QPR. So we're all immediately passing the initiative to QPR because we're saying we're playing our formation and we're selecting a team to stop you, not we're picking a team that's going to cause you problems.
Yeah,
we set up a team to stop them, and it's not going to stop them. I'll start on the positives because I'm going to rip a few players, unfortunately. But on positives, Morosi was really good. The third goal, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to shovel, but he's made 3 or 4 cracking saves for us. I think Eccles, like you said, was a positive. I think Gyökeres looked to have something about him. I think he's got a bit of the right attitude. That was about it. I thought McCallum was slightly better, probably the best of a bad bunch. But
it's slim pickings, Glenn, isn't it? And at this point of the season, you want to be pointing out certain performances and go, that was brilliant. That's the type of performance that's going to keep us in the league. And there's too little of those. Yeah.
Well, showing my age, going back to when the great 92, 93, when I started following them, they didn't have the best players, but they would outwork a team, and they had 1 or 2 who could do a moment of magic. At the moment, we're not outworking sides. We're just rolling over. We've got players who they're either not committed or they're not strong enough to turn around to Robbins and say, I'm not 100% fit. Michael Rose cannot be 100% fit because he's breaking down too often. So he cannot be 100% fit. If he's not 100% fit, there's no point having him on the pitch. He's a waste as a substitution. It's a gamble, especially like say we've got Godwin as well. That's another one who could break down injury. Da Costa cannot play 90 minutes the guy's another Castaner. I'm sorry.
He was puffing away at 15 minutes. Never mind 90.
But I mean, we rave about Chris Badland, but if we look back at the signings he's made, Hilsner, not done anything. DeCosta has done what Castaner did, a couple of good games and tailed off. Gibello can't even get a game for the under-23s. I know we rave about Chris Badland, how good he is, but the cold hard facts are there's a lot that we haven't done it on. It's today it showed how much we miss Max and Callum Maher in the team. And I just think it's just it. I've just seriously got questions about Robbins. I just think he's just I just think he's not accountable. I think he's almost got to the stage where I know best and he's stubborn. And I listened to Nigel Pearson before their game, and he said he'd left 2 players out the team because they'd been away on international duty and they hadn't had time to do the training and get the team formation. Yeah. We've had Ostergaard, who's been all around Norway. How can they work on the defence when the main linchpin of the defence isn't there? Yeah. So why not leave? I know it's a risk to leave Ostergaard out, but why not train the back 4 and get them fit?
Play a back 4. That's the thing.
Yeah. Play a back 4. Change it. If that's Gareth. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, definitely back 5.
Yeah, if that's Gareth Ainsworth or that's Paul Warren and they're 2-0 down, I can guarantee they would make changes. They wouldn't leave it till 50 minutes gone. And like I say, Rotherham have the right mentality. I mean, I know they've dropped points today, but they're down to 10 men. They've had a go. They've missed a penalty. You know what I mean? They have a go. They're competitive. We're just like, you know what? We just won't even lay a good, but we won't even lay a tackle on you. We'll just let you stroll round us and have a bit of a field day. I mean,
like you say there about, you know, the other teams going back. I mean, we get to half time. It's only 2-0, which is obviously a fantastic result of the way things were going. It's a chance to regroup, but no changes. It's just boggling, isn't it? I mean, it kind of lures the team into a false sense of security, I think, as if to say, you know what, you're doing well that first half. But, you know, if I'm Robbins, you've got to be out there barking some orders, make some changes, make the team feel like they haven't played well. You know, that performance in that first half was not good enough. It's not good enough for any league club, basically. Awful. Never mind Coventry City. And then when they do come out, the body language was absolutely atrocious as well. Heads were down. No one sprinted onto the pitch. What looked like they were up for it. I think throughout the whole team, it's just the confidence is completely shot. Completely.
I'm going to be a bit controversial. Matty James, although I rate the guy as a good player, I think he's really good. I don't think he's a captain, and I don't think he's as effective in the system that we play today. I just don't think he needs he's better to be the anchor, but I think he needs people alongside him who've got the legs. I think, like I say, Eccles, I'd rather play Eccles alongside him. I think him and Kelly, and it's just like I say, Godden's not going to create chances if he's got no one to give him service. And we're relying that our one creative player is really going to be Gus Hamer, and he's not on it at the moment for whatever reason. But it's just I know what Robbins is going to say in the interview. He'll just come up with every excuse under the sun. And there's no fight. There's no I want to care. It's like, I don't think that maybe some of the players realise how much it means to fans. Like, there's people who haven't been for a year, who've probably struggling money-wise, but they've still supported the club by paying for iFollow, got season tickets. You know what I mean? And we'll laud the players. And last season, they got a lot of credit for what happened. But they've got to take it this season that they haven't performed. Yeah. And I'll take any team getting beat, but the manner we got beat today is an absolute disgrace because we didn't even try, and it didn't even look like we cared, and that's the worst thing. I've seen tick-off teams in relegation battles before get beat, but they've got beat because the other team were better and just had a bit more quality. I'll take that because, like I say, they've got 3 or 4 in their team who'd walk into a Premier League side. Absolutely, but take them out, they'd be relegated, QPR. But they've got the money because they've had 2 or 3 good players that they've flogged on. But we've just gone with the same old, played it safe and just not showed any real ambition on it. And like I say, Monday's massive, and I think we're all going to be Swansea fans tonight, and I hope they do us a favour against Blues.
Absolutely. Glenn, always good to have your input on Sky Blues Extra Live. Really appreciate it, mate. And hopefully we can speak again on Monday. Have a good evening, mate.
Hopefully. You too.
Cheers, Glenn. Thanks. I mean, he speaks sense pretty much week in, week out. You can't question any of his comments there today. You know, talk about the commitment of the team, the passion, desire, and obviously question Mark Robbins. And a lot of people are questioning Mark Robbins this evening. CCFC 147, you have to question Mark Robbins, continue making bad decisions, but we have to bow down to him as he's the Messiah and can't say a bad word. No, I don't think that's fair. I think we can say he gets stuff wrong, and today he definitely did. There's no doubt about that. You know, we're not a good enough team to set up the way we do in this division and invite pressure and try and snatch a goal. You know, we conceded the third most goals in this division. So why do we keep on insisting on doing it?
I'm sick to death of this back five now. I'm absolutely sick to death of it. It's like we're so passive. That's what this whole season I felt like this. Like and earlier in the season you sort of go, well, there's a long way to go, and you sort of almost let it go. But Brentford away went 2-0 down. We only started playing at 2-0. Like we were passive. We just let that game go by. Blackburn went down 10 men. Let that game go by, and we've done it rinse and repeat. And suddenly now we're in the business end, and it's just catching up with us. That whole attitude, like you say, that attitude of them walking onto the pitch, like there's just no desire today, and that's what hurts. Like I say, look, Rotherham, like you say, Rotherham will look at it. They missed a penalty. You'll be gutted. You'll be gutted if you're a Rotherham fan. But you've gone, you know what? Actually, we fought. When I think back to that season in League Two, that game against Mansfield, we had 10 men and we got the point, didn't we? Clark Harris penalty.
Yeah.
Now,
but we didn't try and play safe that game. We went for it, but we sort of, you know, we just ourselves down and we went to battle. We've not done any of that today. We just, Glenn was bang on there. Like, I don't know, man. You don't get anywhere by being too safe. I mean, you look at the teams who survived last season, the season before that, they went for it. I mean, for example, Luton and Barnsley last season, they changed their style. They changed their attitude, they changed their shape, and they stayed up. And we just don't look like we're a side willing to do that. I mean, we keep doing the same things over and over again. It's the same. It's the age-old question, isn't it? You do the same old things over and over again, you get the same results. Well, and for us at the moment, that's dragging us right down into a dogfight.
Look, last season the box was fine because we could actually defend because the quality, you know, and we weren't making mistakes. But last season we won 15 matches by 1 goal, 1. So we were not smashing teams. We weren't blowing teams away. We weren't scoring many goals, but we did enough to win games. This season, we're 2-0 down. And then I'm thinking, well, we're not scoring 2 goals. So that's it. Do you know what I mean? How do we... I'd rather us lose 4-3, right? Yeah. And go, you know what? We look like scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think the back five, like, supposed to be more solid defensively. It's a calamity.
And Scott says the same thing in regards to, you know, open eyes with the system. I don't think the system, we don't have the quality of player to play this system in this division. We had it in League One, that's fine, but it's a massive step up. And when you've got 3 centre halves, I'll call them centre halves. When you have 3 of them that are all scared of bringing the ball out, it negates playing the wing backs because 2 of them centre halves have got to run and make some space, and one of them's got to have the confidence to bring the ball out with their feet and play it wide. And when they can't do that, then it just negates the reason to play wing backs. Just play for the back, overload the midfield, and get running and fight and committing to challenges, and, you know, get the ball through the pitch, through the middle of the park. That's the way to do it. And we're just scared to change anything, aren't we? It's like we've got plan A and that's it.
But I don't even think we have a plan A. Like, I don't watch us and think I know how we're playing now. Do you know what I mean? Like last season you did, and earlier in the season we sort of knew what we wanted to do. But now I'm watching today, I'm thinking the players don't look like they have a clue what they're supposed to do. You know.
All right, let's give our voice a rest and let's Mark get Mark on and he can tell us his thoughts on today's game. Mark, good to have you with us on Sky Blues Extra Live as always. I mean, just
evening.
Good evening. Bitterly disappointing, wasn't it today?
Yeah, I think the points that Glenn Goran Eriksson and Ross and yourself has said was all spot on. I think I looked at the team at the start and I couldn't understand what was the thinking behind, why was Allen starting? Why was Shipley starting? You look at the bench; it's just set up negatively. It's to say, let's just try and contain QPR, and then maybe we'll try and nick a goal. It's just like that. It's like that week in, week out.
Why would you think he would play Shipley and Allen in such a big game when both players have not really performed anywhere near the levels required this season?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. It just seems a bizarre selection. I can't. Obviously he sees these guys week in, week out in day in, day out in the training field. But to me, it was a no-brainer. I think O'Hare and Gyökeres, they should have played, two up front. O'Hare behind the front two. Defensively, is a problem, particularly with Da Costa. The first goal, he was caught out of position. The second goal was, just a really, really poor goal. Just a corner near post, and it just goes in. That's just basic defending. That's Sunday league football stuff. That's just appalling. It was just men against boys, wasn't it? I mean, it was just embarrassing to watch. And I got there when the second goal came. I was saying to my wife, I spent £10 a day on iFollow for this. I literally just didn't want to watch the rest of it, but I did because I love the club.
Some Easter eggs, mate.
Well, yeah, I was thinking
going
to go to Tesco and get some Easter eggs and that to cheer myself up, and I think I will do after this call. But yeah, it was just I mean, people saying we could have come back to the game 2-0 down. We couldn't even get a shot on target. The only shot on target I remember was when Hamer hit that free kick straight on the goalkeeper's throat right before half time. It was just. There is no fight, and what I feel like Ross. I just feel like we're going down this season. I don't see any improvements. There are the second half. I felt okay. There were one or two bright spots. I actually thought Eccles. I agree with that. I think I'd love to see him start. I don't think Robbins will, because I think Robbins is very stubborn. He's very loyal to some of his players. I mean, Hamer, for me, he hasn't turned up for a number of weeks now, and he seems to be getting away with it. He, not just him, but he's meant to. He started the season well, but as the season's gone on, it's just been very, very poor.
A couple of people made comments here. You won't be able to see on Matt, but a couple of people making comments about: is it time for a fresh voice, or is it too late in the season for a fresh voice in and around the team? I mean, people calling for Robin's head, basically. What's your thoughts on that? My thoughts is I still think Robbins needs to be kept. I don't know who's out there who would do a better job, given the circumstances, the budget, and everything. But I think if we do go down to League One, I think he's under pressure to get us back up, and that's the reality. I think the reality is that he needs to start the season well. I mean, okay, you look at, say, Norwich, an example. They came down from the Premier League. They've been a bit of a yo-yo club, and obviously, Farker's going to take them up this season, and then that's what I think we need to do if we go down to League One. But I think he's under pressure. There's no doubt about it. I would give him till sort of the first few games next season, and if results aren't going the way we want it to go, then I'd definitely consider a change. But I still think we need to keep Robbins. I just don't know who would do a better job with these group of players. My criticism of him today, though, is I think tactically he got it wrong, and I think a lot of people would say that. I mean, it's not the first time, though, was it? Because you look at his record, not just with us this season, but if you look back to his days at Huddersfield, there was question marks over his tactical ineptness, shall we say, and that effectively lost his job at that club, and it's sort of creeping into this season with Coventry City as well, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, look, he's been an unbelievable manager for us, and he's still got my full respect. So I think. Look, he came to the club when we were in League Two, and he's got us up to the Championship. And yes, I definitely can see why people would advocate a change, because there are some good points on that. But I just feel that now's not the time to change. I think
feels too late, doesn't it?
Yeah,
feels like you sort of.
I feel it feels a bit late. I just feel like we're a bit doomed to our fate. I mean. I don't know how much of an influence Vivash is in getting in the manager's ear about selection. I don't know, but to me today was, you look at the game before Wickham, that's a game you should win. You look at today's game, I think we've got to try and go and be more positive. I think 2 up front. I did see a bit of fight in the second half, but as I say, the game's lost already.
Yeah.
I thought, as you say, I thought like we were playing Barcelona, Real Madrid after 15, 20 minutes because the way they were playing around us through the triangles, but also the way they thread the ball just in, like defence splitting passes through the middle, which just looks so easy.
I think that's not helped by us having 10 to 15 yards of gaps for them to play balls into. I mean, the shape and the setup was just absolutely clueless. When you have effectively Ilya Sher, who I think is one of the standout players in this division, he can thread the eye of a needle basically with a pass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that yeah. I mean, but going back to the team, that would never ever work with Godwin up front because it was quite obvious. If you had Biarma up front, fine, or even Gyökeres. At least Gyökeres can, he's pretty good in the air and he can hold the ball up. If you're going to play that system, then just play the Gyökeres up front.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it's just a no-brainer to play two up front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think overall, like Danny says here, our aim is 21st this season, isn't it? We can still do it. We're all annoyed, but we can survive. But I think that's the question. Yeah, and I think that's the most disappointing thing is that we just seem to be going backwards.
They showed nothing today, and that's the thing. Like I agree, everything you're saying. If we had lost today, attacking, then you go, you know what? I saw enough to see why we can win football matches moving forward. But they showed absolutely nothing. And how many times this season it's easy to play when you're 2-0 down? The game is done. If we had scored one, they'd have upped it and tried, and then they would have scored 3 or 4. I mean, to me, I don't know how we're supposed to survive. I have no idea.
I think QPR first 15, 20 minutes absolutely tore us apart. I mean, after they got their 2 goals, they just eased off. There you go. You can have the ball now.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like. And okay, let's look to the next game. Okay, Bristol City at home. They've lost today, but they're a very, very good team away from home, and this is what people don't realise.
We're favourites to win. We're 1-1 to win. I cannot believe my eyes.
No chance after today. We can't even hit the target, let alone score a goal. And if you can't hit the target or score a goal,
we don't look like hitting the target.
It's a typical Coventry City performance to put in what we did today and then go and absolutely batter Bristol on Monday.
We need to win 2 matches and get a draw. Yeah. I'd rather we've got how many games we got left? 8, is it? We need to I don't care. Look, we're going to lose matches. We can lose 6 matches if we can win 2, or maybe if we can lose 5 matches, win 2, get a draw. Let's just try and win the game. Today we didn't try and win.
Keep us up. 7 points will keep us up.
We tried to get a draw today. We didn't try and win. And all I want to see on Monday is like, look, if we lose, we lose. I'm resigned to thinking we're not going to win another game. But let's at least try and win. That's all I want to see.
I think the way I feel tonight is I feel like we are going down. But I think maybe give myself a day or two, and I think, you know what, Bristol City.
Have some chocolate. Have some Easter eggs.
Yeah, I'm going to have some Cadbury chocolate. I'm going to pick myself up again.
I need a straight gin.
Listen, I mean, it's always raw straight after. I mean, talking about football straight after a loss it's always hard. And then, in 24 hours, we might feel different. But at the moment, we can only talk about what we're feeling at this instant. And at the moment, it's deflating, isn't it? It's just really, really deflating.
Yeah, I mean, after the first half, I was like, I just can't believe QPR, I knew it was going to be a tough game today. When you got someone like Charlie Austin up front, he's not being funny. He should be playing Premier League football, in my opinion. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, I
suppose that's another difference, isn't it? They brought in Charlie Austin in January to take them away from the relegation scrap, and we brought in a lad from Rochdale and Gyökeres, who was on the bench at Swansea.
We don't play. We barely play him. I mean, that's the thing. We let Giles go, or we don't play Giles, our winger. So we can't even change our formation to 2 wingers because we don't even have 2 wingers in the squad. And we bring in a striker who doesn't play. And I just think, you got Jabello putting these tweets like as if like he's had a falling out. I just think he's the only other winger we've got, and he's not even playing for the under-23s.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah.
Honestly.
Obviously, there was rumours, weren't there, of a little bit of a bust up this week. I saw.
I bet they have.
I don't know if there's much truth in that, but you think to those and look at today's performances like today, and you think, has something happened there?
Yeah. You just don't know what's going on behind the scenes, do you, really?
If he's not playing for the under-23s and he's not even getting a game. We had 2 games at the start of the first week. Godden scored and played. Jabello nowhere to be seen. And you just think... And literally, this comes days after, in the Telegraph, Robin says, we need to get him up to speed so we can contribute. Like, hang on, what? I'm just dumbfounded by what I'm hearing and seeing. It doesn't match up.
There's a lot of sugar-coated, isn't there, at times by Mark Robbins.
I wish he would just shake things up a bit. Like, for example, drop Hamer for a game. Get Eccles, start Eccles.
Yeah.
Eccles done more in that 15 or whatever how long minutes it was than Hamer done in the entire game. You know, he looked more positive, and I definitely think that loan to Gillingham has definitely benefited him.
A couple of games I saw him play for Gillingham, I thought he played really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, the only other player, I don't know how Drysdale's been getting on at Cambridge, but he's another player I think, you know, maybe next season he's the sort of person I'd want in my team, because from what I've heard, he's been doing quite well there. So he's another player I'll look at, and I think.
And we got Jordan Thompson, who I think is a real standout talent to come into that back line. I'm putting him up there with the likes of, remember Davenport, how good he was when he first came to the scene. Yeah. I'm going with Thompson to sort of echo in his footsteps, shall we say, or follow in his footsteps is the word I should be using. But yeah,
the only other player I had was Backpacker as well.
Backpacker.
Yeah, he's not played much, but in the game I think I saw against Norwich he looked pretty decent, and I think, you know, I don't know, it just seems he's very loyal to the players that he always plays, but they're not turning in performances, and you know, I think I respect what guys like Shipley have done in the club, and you know, he's done brilliant, but unfortunately he's been found out, and it's not just him. There's other players. Allen's another one who they're good League One players, but Championship is unfortunately they're not good enough. Yeah, it's a shame because, you know, they've been good servants and all the rest of it, but it's disappointing. It's just been very deflated today, isn't it? So
a very deflating day, and obviously a lot of questions for the future, Mark. Really appreciate you coming on the show as always, and
cheers, guys.
Hopefully you have a good Easter, mate.
Yeah, you too. Speak soon.
Okay.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks, mate. We'll start to wrap things up, Ross, because I don't think we need to carry on too much with this debacle of today. So, in summary, what's your sort of final thoughts?
In summary, I just want to see some fight. You know what? If I don't want us to go down with a whimper, and I don't think we're even going down with a whimper. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just try and win. Let's just try. Let's just fight. You know what? If we go down, I can accept that. Between now, from Monday, for the remaining 8 games, if I see us go out and show some urgency, if we can do that, I'll accept it and I won't criticise. Because, look, at the end of the day, we've come up. It was always going to be tough. We'd have all took 21st. So I agree with that comment. But I'm just not seeing... I didn't see anything today from that first half where damage was done, which showed that the players are up for the fight. Not in the slightest.
Ross, thank you very much once again for your comments and your contribution to Sky Blues Extra Live. We'll be back Monday for the Sky Blues' next fixture versus Bristol City. There's 8 games left of this championship season, and it's time to shape up for the Sky Blues as we draw ever closer to that relegation zone. As I say, we'll be back Monday, so hopefully you can join us then. In the meantime, have a great Easter. Enjoy the break, and we'll see you soon. Play up, Sky Blues.
Play up, Sky Blues.